Hey everyone, this is my very first video here on the Scrappy Fangirl YouTube page. My daughter always laughs at me when I tell her that I picked the name Scrappy Fangirl, but really that's what I do. I go out on the web and read about all sorts of great scrapbooking that's happening, and I fangirl over all sorts of awesome scrapbookers. And I just wanted a chance to share how I've had a chance to take some of the things that I've learned from these great scrapbookers and then maybe do a little something with it myself. So this video is actually of a December daily I did. It's a walkthrough of my December daily. And I was inspired by Tiffany Louder, who is one of the Scrap Gals on the Scrap Gals podcast. And if you haven't listened to the Scrap Gals podcast, you just need to get there and do it because they are so fun and so awesome. And it's a great way to hear people talking about scrapbooking, especially when you're doing boring things like cleaning your house or commuting in your car. When you can't be scrapbooking yourself, at least you can listen to two awesome ladies talking about scrapbooking. So Tracy Claiborne and Tiffany Louder. I am fangirling over you guys today, and Tiffany Louder just did a walkthrough of one of her December Daily project on her YouTube channel, and I will put a link to that in the description. But I thought I'd do a walkthrough of mine, and they've been talking a lot about December Daily in their podcasts, and there are so many beautiful December Daily or December projects that people have done out there with beautiful scrapbooking pages, with these amazing kits. And when I started my first December Daily back in 2014, I knew I needed to do something a bit simpler. Because getting through the holidays and all the shopping and things I needed to do, I knew I wasn't going to be able to do a complicated scrapbooking project. So I decided to do my December Daily mostly on my phone with the Project Life app. And there were a few other apps that I used with this. I also used the Letter Glow app to add other text on top of my layouts after I finished them in the Project Life app. I think I used the Rana app to make some of my own journaling cards, and I may have used the Over app too to add text to some of my cards. And there's at least one layout in here that I did on my computer in Photoshop using digital scrapbooking supplies. But the majority of this December Daily was done on my phone. I also didn't do an entire album that was just my December Daily. I just put it as part of, this is my regular Project Life album. I do a 6x8 Project Life album every year. Again, a lot of it is with the phone or with the Project Life app or other apps that I have on my phone. Some are with physical Project Life cards that I've gotten. Some are collages that I've made in the Project Life app, and others are digital scrapbooking. I've made cards with my digital scrapbooking supplies. But a lot of them I've made in the app or in other apps, like I think this was made with the Diptych app on my iPhone, and it's a great way for me to do Project Life because I can do it kind of every day when I'm sitting in the car and waiting for my kids at their activities. I can create my pages while I'm otherwise not able to do things. So I decided to just put my December Daily pages at the end of my Project Life album. Since I don't necessarily do Project Life every week, sometimes I'll just pick a story here and there, and basically I get a sprinkling of Project Life pages throughout the year. So, so for day one of my December Daily in 2014, I started with one big 6x8 photo that I actually made this in the Project Life app. They have a 6x8 layout. You can just put one photo in, so I did that, highlighting the thing we always do on the 1st of December every year, which is hang up and start our Advent calendar. We've had this Advent calendar since my oldest daughter was a baby, and so we start with December 1st and hang up the first ornament on the little Advent calendar tree. And I made this page in the Project Life app. December 2nd, I talked a lot about the kind of everyday things we do and maybe how the everyday things are spiced up a little bit by the holiday season. So this was a picture of the waiting room in the dance studio where my daughter dances, and they had decorated for Christmas. So it kind of puts you in the festive mood, even though I was doing what I always do, which is wait for my daughter while she's at her dance class. This page, it looks like we had an ice storm that day and school was delayed. And it looks like this journaling card, I recognize these graphics as being from the Rana app. So I created this card in the Rana app, and then I brought it into the Project Life app to put it in the 3x4 slot, and then added the pictures. So using multiple apps is a great way to kind of get variety if you want to move away from some of the cards or you want to try something different. I was able to collage this with a lot of the graphics in the Rana app, so that was kind of fun to do. This was another card that I made in the Rana app, and then this was a regular Project Life card that was in the Project Life app. I love this layout because my kids tend to get pretty silly during December, anticipating the holidays, and so they were doing something very silly in the kitchen, and I just snapped a quick pic. It's blurry, but it kind of gets the idea that everybody is a little giddy this time of year, expecting the holidays and all the fun that goes along with it. The next day, December 5th, was just a little layout of my husband, things we did. He made me eggs one morning, and they were shaped like a heart, and enjoying a margarita after a long week. So trying to get together, having a little date night with my husband is always a nice thing to remember any time of year, not just the holidays. And then we were supposed to get our Christmas tree this day, December 6th, but it was pouring rain. So instead we got out all the other decorations, so we can at least get the house festive and get the tree later. So I recorded that little moment and some of the close-ups of some of the different decorations we put up every year. So this how we decorate the stair railing and how we decorate the mantle. And then this is my husband's Hanukkah bush, where another thing I struggle with during the holidays is we celebrate both Christmas and Hanukkah. My husband's family is Jewish, my family is Christian, so we celebrate both holidays during the season. And so often it's a challenge to find supplies that will work for both Hanukkah and Christmas. And you'll see later how I kind of handle that in some of the other layouts. But this was a bush he had as a joke when he was in college. It was his little tiny tabletop Christmas tree that he puts a yarmulke on the top, and that he called his Hanukkah bush, which I always thought was funny. So we pull that out every year. About this Project Life card, in Project Life, this card had a little banner at the top, and then it had a place for the journaling down here, but I wanted to highlight the number of the day up here, and you can't really do that in the Project Life app. You can't type in one font in one place and another font in another place, and actually you couldn't even type up here in the way the journaling section was down here. So I typed this part first and then exported the layout, and then I went into, I think probably Letter Glow, and added the number to that area of the layout before I printed it out. So you can kind of smash apps together in order to get text in places, and I probably also use Letter Glow to add the text to these different photos in the layout as well. This one, day 7, this was the one of the layouts that I did completely in Photoshop. So this is a digital scrapbooking page. So it's very much similar in the style of I did the same kind of layout with the 4 3x4 slots. And I just made that in Photoshop instead because I wanted to use some of my digital scrapbooking supplies. I had some holiday kits that I wanted to use, and I was able to create journaling in a little spot and combine journaling and my photo together, which is kind of difficult to do in one card on the phone, to be able to have a different size photo in the journaling. So I was able to do that in Photoshop on my computer. So mixing it up a little bit when I had a little bit more time to work on it. But this was another one. I actually did this layout in the car while I was waiting for my son to pick him up after school. So I'm sitting in the parking lot, and I took this picture and I created this layout on the spot. So this is done in Project Life at 2 4x6 spots, a card here, a photo here, and then I brought it into Letter Glow to add the number 8 to the corner of the card. So really easy, really quick, and that's what I love about doing Project Life on the phone, because it takes no time at all to create a layout when you're doing it on your phone in a time you otherwise wouldn't be able to scrapbook. I was able to That's awesome as far as I'm concerned. This is capturing another silly moment in my house with the Project Life app, but I also added a little text, probably in letter glow, in addition on this card. They were being cute, they were hugging each other, and half a second earlier it would have been an adorable picture, but instead I got the "I can't believe you're taking this picture" image from my daughter. So I love to kind of mix the holiday moments with kind of the everyday funny moments that show up. Day 10 was kind of all about me and my dance classes that I take. I talked a little about how we always do kind of an aerobic warm-up. We call it Christmas cardio. My dance teacher plays holiday tunes and we do some aerobic warm-ups to get ready for dance class. So I always look forward to that every year, and I wanted to highlight that in a page. And this again was created in Project Life. And then this one here was just a school event that happened. My son, they made volcanoes in school, and then they had a special night where they got to demonstrate their volcanoes erupting. And again, just the Project Life app. I probably combined Letter Glow and Project Life again to put the number and the journaling on the same card. So I created it without the number first, and then brought it into Letter Glow, and then was able to add the number at the top of the journaling card. Another layout about something special that happens during the holidays. My parents come to visit, so Nana and Grampy come and stay with us, and I wanted to kind of highlight some special time that we spent together. Nathan was playing a little tune on the keyboard for Nana, which was awesome. And again, mostly created with the Project Life app, but then it looks like I might have added a little bit here with the Rana app. I think that star is from the Rana app, and this font is also from there. So there's lots of different apps you can use to add things on top of a Project Life page. You just export the whole Project Life page to your camera roll, and then you can add other things on top of the page. So on day 13, we finally got to go and cut down our Christmas tree and get it all decorated. Again, just a simple Project Life app with a journaling card and the number added in Letter Glow. Sometimes there's things around the holidays that have to be done that aren't really as much fun, like room cleaning. So we had some paperwork to do. It says making some holiday gifts, and Alexandra and Daddy went through and cleaned her room. Believe me, this is a lot better than it was before. And again, made in the Project Life app. And then with the number and the kind of circle added afterwards, probably in Rana, the Rana app, I think. I think that's where that graphic came from. Doing the app there. And the same thing over here. This Project Life card had a bunch of numbers in it. And instead of typing the number, I added a star shape in another app to highlight the number 15, which was the day, talking about my son's holiday concert at school where he plays the trumpet and band. So it was always nice to include those kind of holiday events that happen with the kids in my December daily album. This day I didn't have pictures for because I was doing things like wrapping presents and getting things ready, and I didn't, of course, want to reveal anything in the album until Christmas Day. So I just have a shh in there so you can get the idea that I was busy doing things for the holidays that day, but I didn't want to include any pictures. No peeking. And it was important to me to also record some of the things that happen as far as my work life goes. And I am a teacher. I teach adult education. I actually teach computer classes. And so this was our last week of classes. And so I kind of took a picture of the computer lab at one of the classrooms I teach in, and talk a little bit about the work I do. I know it's always kind of exciting as we get to the end of classes before winter break things always get a little festive at work, and I just wanted to talk a little bit about kind of winding down the semester, getting ready for winter break. And again, this was a Project Life card, and the journaling only took the top part, and then I used the Rana app to add some kind of flourishes and the number on that app. Next day, it was my daughter's high school band concert, and so I've got a picture from there. Again, another Project Life card from another kit. Really simple. These come together really quickly with the Project Life app. Just pictures, pick a journaling card, add the journaling, throw a number in with another app, and boom, you're done. And I actually print most of these out myself. Some of them I can print right away on my home printer. They're just print 6x8 size on photo paper, but also I've gotten them printed at Persicity Prints before, and they do a great job with the 6x8 size. This day we were celebrating my brother-in-law's birthday. He has a December birthday, poor thing, so he always feels like he gets gypped, but usually we end up finding some way to celebrate and going out that night. And so we have a birthday layout in the middle of December daily because that's one of the things that happens in December for us. All right, and so these two pages are pages talking about our Hanukkah celebration. So we celebrate Hanukkah at home by lighting the menorah during Hanukkah, and also we usually have a Hanukkah party with my husband's side of the family. And so on this page, I used just a Project Life card that was in there, celebrate the season. It was generic enough, it celebrate the season. It doesn't have to be Christmas. In this case, it was Hanukkah. So, and actually this top picture is from when we celebrated Christmas with my brother. In the bottom, we were celebrating Hanukkah at home. Over here, there are some pictures from the Hanukkah party, and the Project Life app really, it only has a couple cards and they say Happy Hanukkah on them. There's not a lot of Hanukkah cards in there. So I actually chose a generic kind of teal card, and I think put the number in, and actually I think the number and then these little dreidels were actually graphics that I took this layout, emailed it to myself on my computer, and then brought it into Photoshop so I could use a digital scrapbooking Hanukkah kit to add those in, and I typed the number in Photoshop as well. I wish there were more actual Hanukkah things on the Project Life app, but unfortunately there's not. So I have to kind of make do by either using generic holiday or season cards or just printing a plain colored card and then adding additional elements in Photoshop. You could also use Photoshop Elements to do that, which is a bit cheaper than Photoshop, but it's not difficult to do, to grab digital scrapbook elements in. And luckily in the digital scrapbooking community, there's actually quite a few Hanukkah kits you can get, where in even paper scrapbooking, it's difficult to find Hanukkah stuff. You can find a couple like packs of stickers, and maybe if you're lucky you can find some paper, but there's definitely not the variety for Hanukkah stuff that there is for Christmas stuff. So you kind of have to improvise, which is what I do. Here's another school layout. They did a special Victorian unit at school, and so they were celebrating, they read the Christmas Carol, and then they had a Victorian Day. So I actually went into school and saw the presentations for that. Not sure where I made this card. Again, it was probably a combination of apps to put that card together. And over here, I do have two Hanukkah cards. And again, this was created in Photoshop. This is with a digital scrapbooking kit. So again, luckily you can find some good Hanukkah journaling cards and Hanukkah digital scrapbooking supplies by looking in digital scrapbooking, because again, paper supplies and Project Life cards, there's not very many of them out there. Ooh, exciting, Christmas Eve. So this layout celebrates some of the things that we do, traditions we do every year on Christmas Eve. Usually there's some baking involved, pies, cookies, getting ready for the next day. We go to church and we go to the candlelight service, and we sat in the balcony today, this Christmas Eve, and I was able to snap a picture during the part where we all light candles and sing Silent Night. I quickly snapped a picture. That's a special memory that happens every year, and it's one of my favorite parts of the service, so I definitely wanted to capture that memory. And then traditions like there's one ornament that's always the last ornament that goes up. Santa Claus goes up on the top of the tree, and the kids do that ornament together. And we always take family pictures in front of the Christmas tree with my parents and the four of us every year. So this is a two-page spread in the album showing our kind of Christmas Eve traditions. And then I just have one page for Christmas. I do bigger pages with more details in my holiday 12x12 album, but in Project Life I just wanted to have a couple pictures and then talk about a little bit how our Christmas morning works. So the kids aren't allowed to go downstairs until we wake up and get the cameras, my husband with the video camera and me with my DSLR, and then they have to wait at the top of the stairs so I can get pictures, and then they run down and see what is left for them under the tree. So I wanted to talk about that little morning ritual, and usually it's very early in the morning. But I always have more details about our Christmases in my big 12 by 12 holiday album, but this is just a little snippet that goes in here as part of the December daily section of my Project Life album. And then I continued on through the end of the year, recording something almost every day. I didn't hit every day with this last section. So on December 26th, we went around. There's a student in town that puts on a light display coordinated to music and a radio station. He collects food for local food pantries for people who come and watch. So we went and we visited Luke's Lights, and he also got asked to do the lights down at City Hall this year. Again, kind of synced to the music. So we went and saw Luke's Lights. And drove around, kind of extending the holiday season beyond Christmas. And then I also talked on this page about how, we kind of extend the kids are on vacation. We're usually eating leftover pie, enjoying some peppermint hot chocolate, playing with our toys, video games. This is our little hamster cookie. And then we had one last meal with my parents before they headed back to Florida to get warm and escape the snow of New Hampshire. So I like to kind of record the Christmas vacation is kind of part of, the holiday traditions, and it's nice to continue to record those through the end of the year in the December daily album. And just a 6x layout. I think I did this one in the, it used to be called something else, I think Bubble Frame, but now it's Rana Collage, and so I was playing around with that different app and made this kind of little 6x8 layout of my husband and son cuddling under a blanket while they were playing video games. And then December 30th, this is when we brought my parents back to the airport to go back to Florida, and just some more moments of the kids playing with their new Christmas presents. And my mother always does laundry when she's at my house, so I had to get a picture of the last load of folded laundry that Nana left for me. That's very sweet. We always appreciate. We call her the laundry fairy. And then this last page is for the New Year's Eve celebration that we had at my brother-in-law's house. So little pictures of who is there, and our champagne, and some of the appetizers. And we do a crazy Yankee swap, and play crazy games, and just have a blast. So it was kind of the last layout of the year is our New Year's Eve celebration. And then it was on to 2015. So that is the end of my December daily album. You can see, actually, this one wasn't created in the Project Life app. This was probably created in the Diptych app, with maybe bringing some things with Rana Designs, or we may have used the Rana Collage app, because this definitely has a lot of different size photo slots in it. And so if you explore out into other apps like Diptych and Rana Collage, you can get more variety in your layouts. It does take a little more effort though, but I was on vacation, so I had plenty of time to play around with new apps then. But you can see by scrapbooking on the phone, it was so easy to make a December daily and to get something every day, where I knew that doing it with really lots of embellishments and paper supplies just wasn't going to work for me this year. I so admire all of the really creative and beautiful Project Life albums that I see out there, and maybe someday I will do one like that. But for this time of my life, getting the stories down was the most important for me, and being able to do it on my phone and during little moments in time was my key to success. So I don't know, I hope you might find this video helpful and give you an idea about another way you can do Project Life, do a December daily using the Project Life app and other apps that you have on your phone. So if you like this video, give me a thumbs up, and hopefully I'll make some more as I find more great scrapbookers to fangirl over out there on the internet. So thanks everyone, bye!